Welcome to Dissolve. In this video, I'll run through winding up options for solvent companies. A solvent company is a company that either has no liabilities or has enough assets to pay all of its liabilities within 12 months. There are two ways to wind up a solvent company: voluntary deregistration or members' voluntary liquidation. So let's have a look at voluntary deregistration first. The first thing to be aware of is that it is simple and cheap. You simply lodge a form 6010 at ASIC and pay a small fee. It's under $50. But to do this, you'll need to be able to certify a number of things. The main ones being that all shareholders agree to the deregistration, the company is not carrying on a business, the company has no assets and no liabilities. If you fail to meet any one of these requirements, you are not eligible to apply for a voluntary deregistration. So a voluntary deregistration is simple and cheap, but there are situations where you should consider a member's voluntary liquidation. So let's have a look at that. A member's voluntary liquidation is a formal liquidation process and is conducted by an appointed liquidator. The process includes the liquidator making a final distribution of any surplus assets to shareholders and holding a final meeting. There are specific situations where a member's voluntary liquidation is the right option. The main ones are as follows. Firstly, where a company has a pre-CGT capital profits reserve, a liquidator can distribute a dividend essentially tax-free, whereas an ordinary dividend will be taxable. Secondly, where it's necessary to distribute reserves from the small business entity concessions, which again will be tax-free when distributed in liquidation. And thirdly, in order to provide greater assurance that the company is fully wound up. It's quite easy to have a deregistered company reinstated, whereas the liquidation is more final. Some of those things are quite technical, so if you need clarification, you could speak to your accountant or call us. So, should you do a deregistration or a liquidation? I usually recommend that if your company meets the criteria for a deregistration, then do that. Because the forms are quite easy, you're probably best just doing that yourself directly with ASIC. If, however, you will receive the tax benefits from a liquidation, please give us a call and we can quote you a price. I think you'll find that Dissolve has a fee lower than other liquidators. Thank you.